sideways.
Did you see what just happened? Oh my gosh. So we're having dinner and we're in this restaurant and whenever you ask Ian how you going, he always says sideways. Why do you always say sideways?
Well, something different, isn't it?
Because you're shaking the table, right? And if you shake the table, that's going to fall again.
Is that right?
That's the thing, because
It goes sideways.
you kind of learn how to be extremely creative when you've got a camera. And we're sort of surprising everyone and just showing up. But it's a weekend, and my grandbaby, he turned one today, and he had a party, and it was just so awesome. But you know what? I said to Ian on the way down here, I think I'd like to go live and share with my friends. Hi, Michael. Hi, everyone. I'd like to share with my friends probably more about just what's going on in our life at the moment, rather than hitting you up with, okay, how do you want to feel? What would you like to have in your life, and what's that going to look like, and what's that going to feel like, and what's that going to be like, and what's that going to sound like, although I'm still doing it, right?
Yeah.
So rather than what were you going to say? Okay, he's gonna tease. So what we thought is we just want to share about our life. So my name's Terry Messenger, and my absolute passion is really helping people to own their life, to really take control of their life, and to go forward. You say a bit about you?
Yeah, well, I'm a chiropractor, and I'm there to help people attain and maintain their health and well-being, and to make a better world, a better place, and a better for the people in it. And so, that's what we do together, and we work together to help people change and to their circumstances, to change their life, to be able to grow and put the past in the past and get rid of the limiting beliefs and brick walls.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
And it's just, Terry does it with the mind and the connections of the spiritual mental side of it. I do it with the structural physical with the chiropractic, and they both affect quite the chemical.
So remember, we weren't going to go too much on about how it works.
It's what we do, and we love it, we enjoy it, and it's just so. I'm just so grateful for everyone that like working with us and gives us the opportunity to do it.
It so is, and really, this is not really about talking about the work that we do, because you guys do hear about that a lot, but we actually began in this area. So at the moment, we're in Western Australia, down under. So we are the luckiest city in the world at the moment, you guys, and we're so grateful for that. Our city, we have our borders locked, we have a very good leadership in our country, and it allows us the privilege to be able to come out on a Saturday night and do something like catch a kebab, like what we're doing right now, right? And show me some hearts, or let us know in the comments if you like kebabs, even if you're watching on the playback. So, this is also the area that Ian and I, we started out when we got married, because we got married, how long ago was it? 14 years? Yeah, so we're like the Brady Bunch, only our kids don't live together. Thank goodness, because there's 6, right? So we had, obviously I've got 2 girls and a boy, and you've got 2 boys and a girl. Always got to think about that. So together we've got 3 boys and 3 girls. So we raised the younger ones, which are mostly mine, in this area, and we lived in, and this area is like a, can I say, is it politically incorrect if I say it's a slightly lower socio-economic area? Well, it is. The truth is it is. And we've got this massive home in this area, and we had a clinic, and we did really well. We saw clients every single day. We ran a phenomenal clinic. I think we saw over 5,000 people in the time, you know, between both of us, practicing on over 5,000 people. So, you know, impacting a lot of people's lives. And, you know, we're currently renting. So this guy Raymond, he always preaches about God, right, on my live streams. But Raymond, my mum's watching and she's a Christian too. And I just want to remind you that I really appreciate the fact that you love to drop in. What is he saying? I needed a part for my bus one day. I went for the parts place and they told me the part cost twice. What does he say? I think him that Yahweh sends me the blind man to me where they need help. Sure, exactly. Yahweh meaning God, yes. You've got to be able to know, though, that God sends people on this earth. He, you know, we need to help, you know, we need to be able to help ourselves, and God works through people to help people. So, anyways,
well, I'm anointed to be a chiropractor on a level the world has never seen, off the glory of God. That's it.
Absolutely.
All I'm doing is doing God's work through my hands.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I'm so grateful and so humbled the fact that I've been chosen to do that.
Yes, and Ian is just so he's genius, actually. I mean, my father said, well, how do you know that he's a genius? And I said, well, he told me. Anyway, that's a true story. But moving on, you guys. So we've got a property in the area. Now, here is a classic sign that things are looking up in our city. Like the economy is growing. Our home is an absolute classic example because we had it empty, so our previous tenant moved out, and Ian and I thought to ourselves, what shall we do? Should we sell it or should we release it? And so we did both. We put it on the market for a sale, and we got a really great agent, and you know, he's had his eye on it for a couple of years, and we've got an amazing girl who is leasing it. So we've got two agents. Now somebody said to me, well, why didn't you just use one? But you know, I can't help feeling like I'm a coach and I specialize in the work that I do, right? And I help other people to specialize in what they're doing. And so because when you're a specialist, like if you go to a general practitioner, they're a general practitioner, right? But if you go to a brain surgeon, they're a specialist, you kind of like, you know, it's where everything suddenly goes up. And when you become a master, see, this is what I train people. I say, you know, by all means, be a jack of all trades if you want to be, but a master of one. When you become a master of one and you really become really good at that, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, right, you guys? So getting back onto my subject, I found that the woman who was going to lease our house, she's a specialist at that. The guy that's selling it, plus there's a little bit of, what would you say, healthy competition, okay? So with that sort of, I wasn't playing them against each other. Never. I would never do that, would I? I'm not a strategic type of scheming type of, no, seriously guys, but a little bit of, give me some comments in the, actually, what do you reckon about that? Like, do you reckon that was a good idea for us to choose? Did you just blow in my ear? Oh my gosh. So, you know, say in the comments, guys, do you reckon that was a good idea? Now, here's what happened. We had an offer come through where the guy who's selling our house says, we've got someone really, really interested. And he was moving like the speed of light. Why was he moving like the speed of light, Ian? Why? I mean, apart from the fact that there's a nice little com in it,
Oh, we had a short reign.
he had a short reign, and also because we had it on the market for lease. But what was happening to the other person, to the girl, who's amazing, by the way? I'm not going to say their names though, because they may see this and then not like their names to be mentioned, but then it could be good advertising on the other hand. But the girl moved even faster. I couldn't believe it. She reminds me of me when I was in my 20s on steroids. I mean, I was in real estate myself. But she came up with some amazing family. Now, guys, you've just got to hear the end of the story because this is just classic. Now, I've got to paint another picture. I'm just going to backtrack. So now we live in another area, a lovely area, but there's one thing missing, and that is that we don't have a shed. Ian doesn't have a shed, right? But we plan on it. So the plan is, and you know, when you plan, guys, this is the thing, when you plan and when you change your blueprint of the way you think about money, put your vision out there, everything changes. This is no kidding. So Ian doesn't have a shed. So can you imagine, he's been like a child in a candy shop for the last, 10 days because our house has been vacant, and so that means that he's been down there in the shed every single day.
My workshop has been locked up for the last year.
Yes, so he's better equipped than most small factories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now what's happened is suddenly we've got an offer for sale and we've got an offer for lease. We've been offered by this family this amazing, 3 months rent in advance. They've moved in. Ian was a little bit put out at first because he thought, well, now he doesn't get to use his shed. But how is this for divine intervention, you guys? This is when you know that the stars, the planets and the moon and everything is lined up.
And the good Lord himself.
And of course it comes from God above. Yes, we better remind Raymond of that because he keeps lecturing me with all his posts. But anyway, comments on my live streams. So Ian goes up there today and meets up with a tenant, and at first he was a bit put out because he thought they'd moved in a little bit early. But then tell him what the tenant said.
Well, he wanted to know if I needed to hand in move anything or anything like that, and he's only interested in the house, not the shed, and this entrance here at the side, you can have all that as well. He says, as long as
they don't know the rest of the story though. They don't know that he's offered you that.
Yeah, he said that there's I can put my lawnmowers there, but he said I'll keep the thing clear so you can get in any time you want.
Okay, so let's just backtrack, Ian. They don't know the start of the story. So guys, Ian thought that he didn't. We always fight on live streams. So he obviously thought that he missed out on his shed, and then all of a sudden there he was. The guy asks him if he can help him, and then he says you can come and use the shed whenever you want. So here we've got a great tenant, 3 months rent in advance, and then the tenant saying full access to his shed. Guys, what do you reckon? Show us some hearts if you think that is amazing. Now, is this divine intervention or what is it? It's really about, okay, firstly, our economy. Obviously, that is a very good sign that our economy is in good nick. It's obviously, and I mean, people want to be in Perth at the moment because our government has decided that health is more important than anything, hence why they are closing the borders, right? And when you've got health, guys, you've got everything. Would you agree with that? Mm-hmm. If you haven't got health, you have nothing. So you can be as rich AF, but if you've got money coming out of every oracle, and hi everyone as you're jumping on, say hello. If you've got money coming out of every oracle, and everywhere, and you've got multiple income streams and you're doing really, really well, but you have not got your health, you ain't got nothing.
Relative value of health and wealth depends on which one you haven't got at the time.
Exactly. Which leads me to saying that it's usually what people perceive they haven't got that they truly want. I'll say that again. It's what you perceive that you haven't got that you truly, truly want. So I'm just going to tell you the rest of this story, and it does talk a little bit about finance and wealth. But, you know, one of the things is Ian and I did very well when we were in clinic together. We were multiple six figures. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and we never talked about it. We never cared about it. In fact, we sold our clinic and we went to the Bahamas. We literally whooped it up the wall because neither of us really ever cared much about money. We were multiple six figures because we served a lot of people. Simple. Game over. But then the universe one day thought to its, obviously, you know, God rules over the universe. But, you know, if you don't care about something, it will go somewhere else. If you do not care about your money, it will go somewhere else. And, you know, this is personal about our lives and we want to share with you a little bit about us. But, you know, we ended up totally bust. Like, we couldn't afford the ham for Christmas in 2017. It was the worst time. And I mean, we had never been in this situation before. We'd been foolish because we didn't care about money, and money fled far and left us. And in that moment of when we didn't have it and we perceived that void, and if you hear me, you guys, if you've ever had that feeling of not enough, not enoughness, whether it's not enough money or not enough love or not enough whatever, put it down in the comments, say yes. And we certainly didn't have enough. And that caused me, as a coach, it caused me to go, right, what is it that I need to do? I knew that we needed to do something else. So really my journey, like we went from multiple six figures to bust, although we didn't lose our house or anything, but we were in a really bad way. I don't even know how we afforded our mortgage. And to literally recreating, co-creating, I have co-created my passion, my gift, the work that I do online, helping people, that I've cultivated it, creating a system. I've cultivated it with this whole new mindset. And, you know, we're pretty much, we've come back up. We're really back to where, in a very, very short time. And it would appear that people go where people go, and also the same with everything. That if you're in flow, money goes where money goes. So even the story we've told you about our house, and, you know, the abundance that, you know, that we're reaping. And I was talking to a person, because I'm now in that stage of my business where, and I'm not saying this to actually do an invitation, although you're welcome to always private message me. I'm actually really talking to you about more about us at a deeper level, so you can get to know us. And, you know, I'm opening up a Elite Crown, which is taking coaches, right, who are gifted, or they want to get online and they want to help people, but giving them the ability to brand their brilliance from their soul. And the prerequisite, the only prerequisite is that the work they do, they must be totally passionate about it. It must be soul-aligned work.
Life is energy, and energy is life. And energy flows where attention goes. Right? So you've got to have the right attention.
Say that again. Say that
life
again.
Life is energy, and energy is life. And energy flows where attention goes.
I love that.
So you've got to put the attention where you want it. You've got to be in the positive. It's not about what you don't want. Anything you don't want, so I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want that, energy flows there. When if you just reverse it and say that, and in the exactly same thing in the positive, I don't want to be ill. Well, I want health, right? Same thing. It's different.
So in other words, don't say
state into the positive.
I
and
don't want to be
goes
over.
to the positive.
Yeah, don't say I don't want to be overweight anymore, or I'm sick of being broke. Say I want to be rich. I want to be slim. I want to be trim. Say what it is that you want, because that
Always
is what
stated in the positive.
State
not
it
what
in
you
the
don't want.
positive.
Never say what you don't want. It's what you want.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You know, because that's a huge thing, because your words are your want, truly. You know, out of the abundance of the heart, speak the words of your mouth. So when you speak words of, you know, like I always speak words now of wealth and of wisdom and riches, and I am divinely blessed, and every single day in every way. The first thing that I did when I went through that crisis, before really getting myself back up and, you know, really kicking butt online, is I had to change something. I had to change my habits. I had to change my mindset, even though my mindset was, you know, really good from the point of when I broke through in 2006 after having depression and anxiety and suffering so much self-doubt. Once I broke through, once I learnt the work that I did, I just, you know, it's like the most amazing gift I could ever have wanted. So really it was the big crash of our finances that was the greatest gift ever, the greatest gift of all, because sometimes, you know, so many people suffer. They suffer from, you know, loss. I've got a friend who's going through a crisis at the moment where even some of the things that she tells me, I can't believe it. It's like, what? You don't say why. You've got to be careful not to ask the wrong questions, but I'm saying, you know, what is the purpose this could happen? Or what is the reason this could be happening to you? And so many bad things happen to good people, and yet sometimes, as I say to people, it's because I tell them on my magical, mystical meditation journey, I take them back and I go into this space. I'm about to get into my hypnosis first. Go on, talk.
But see, the thing is that it's all about what you attract. Life is energy, energy is vibration. Right now, the energy you put out is what you get back. We're all like a two-way radio, right? We choose to be on channel 12. We put out that frequency. People on that frequency and channel 12 will come back to us. If we want to be on different channels, we've got to change it. If you're living your life, you are at the frequency you are, and you don't want to be there. If you drop your frequency, you go down. If you raise it, you go up to...
Speaking of frequency, there's a frequency up there. Can you hear it? Zap, zap, zap.
You raise your frequency, you raise your level, you raise everything.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is with everything. And wealth and riches. When we talk about wealth and riches, it's not just...
Hi everyone, as you're jumping on, say hello.
It's not... Wealth and riches is not just money. Mm-hmm. It's family. It's health.
Absolutely.
It's community.
Yes.
It's culture. It's the whole thing. It's
way of
the
life.
wealth. It's your knowledge.
It's your peace of mind. Like
it's
you've
your
got to
learning.
have peace of mind.
That's all wealth. That's all riches.
You know, that is your greatest riches when you've got that kind of a peace of mind. And I say to people, even people that have been through some of the worst situations, you know, I will know that it's, you know, like now I'll give you a classic example and then we'll wind down. So in this next elite crown that I'm bringing out next week, this is where, so I give people, firstly I give people the transformation. I always make sure, even if they're very gifted coaches and healers, I make sure that they're transformed, that their mindset is free of limitations, so that they're not in that kind of, you know, void of saying I'm not good enough, or the imposter syndrome. And in case you don't know what the imposter syndrome is, it's where people feel like if they come out on, you know, on Facebook or on these social media platforms, and they, you know, obviously want to put something out there, a product or a service, they feel like they're a fake because everybody's got problems and everybody knows behind closed doors what their own problem is. But the problem is that your story, and even at my level, I have issues that I meet all the time. And when I meet those issues, when I have those problems, I know that I'm moving to the next level because I know what to do. And that's where mentorship comes into it. So I make sure that I'm mentoring people so that I am explaining to them that, you know, some of these things that is holding them back from being great, the things that are holding them back from coming out and actually being all of who they're designed to be, because they're too scared to be ridiculed, or they've got that imposter syndrome thing going on, or whatever it is. They've got to dust that. You're going to be old as anything one day. Well, I pray that you will be old as anything one day. And when you are 95 and you're looking back at you, would you say, oh, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad. Good on you for, you know, not showing up and not doing the thing because you thought that that person or that person was better than you. Well, I've got news for you, because there is only one you. There is only one you. And the fact is that, if, especially for coaches, like the coaches that are coming on board, I will say to them that when they get so deep, when they go so deep into their soul, listen up really carefully here, you guys. When they go so deep, and this is why the prerequisite is that they must be authentic. None of this business of coming in and becoming an elite coach for money, because money will flow and money will come, but it's not about that. It's about
service.
It's about sacred service. It's about rich, juicy, as my mentor says, rich, juicy, sacred service of a divine nature, where it's so deep and it's so true and it's so real and it's so authentic, you could reach out and touch it. You could. Okay, so I'm anyway, no, get back onto the story. So, you know, when we go through, and I'm going to have 6 weeks, and my platform's already made. I have got so much content in the Elite Crown. My VA said to me, oh my gosh, that's the most hugest platform I've seen. 24 units of rock solid scripts, beautiful meditational scripts, beautiful, you know, instructions of organized knowledge. It's got 24 juicy units, but I come live and we get together in our classes to cultivate their coaching skills, their deep, divine, unique, authentic, not cookie cutting stuff, you guys. This is not cookie cutting stuff. This is Elite Crown coaching. So there's only one you. The you that someone out there is praying for. That means that you have an experience and you have an authenticity and you are the right person for the right person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and remember, the only true investment you can ever make is an investment in yourself. Right? And you find that anything can be taken, a house can be taken away, you know, the stock market crash, your business can go, everything can go, your house can go, everything can go. They can't take you.
They can't take you, and that's what we're breeding. And in this breeding ground, you know, we are going to get on the stage. We are going to do a bit of performance lessons. I was always, Mum's watching. One thing I always excelled in when I was a little girl, and Mum, you can say it in the comments, dancing, acting. I was always loved being on the stage. I came to life on the stage. I felt better on the stage than I did in real life. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? But it's true. When I was like performing, I felt my best. But I'm performing now. We're all performing. You're performing. So I'm going to be teaching coaches how to freaking perform in getting themselves out there and branding their brilliance and strategizing like a superstar and launching their legendary program. So yes, hello, I see you, Claudia.
It's all about selling. You know, when you say hello to someone in the street or whatever you do, everything you're doing is selling.
Always.
Because you're always selling yourself.
Always selling.
If you sell yourself short, you're short. If you get the vibration, you get the energy flow, you get the attention flow, and you sell yourself as you are, and keep going to higher and higher frequencies.
Look, Claudia's there. Hello.
You know, because this is where we're going in life.
Yes.
And there's no such thing as failure. There's
That's
only
right.
feedback.
Only feedback.
The only failure is the failure to not recognise the feedback and not learn the lesson.
Mum says your gift enables you to find your destiny. So true, Mum.
Exactly.
My mum is a lady of great wisdom. You know, if you ever want anyone to speak into your life and you want healing by the divine, the Holy Spirit, my mum's the lady. She is just magnificent. I am so richly blessed to have my mum and my dad. And yeah, you're always selling. So just in case you were thinking like, oh, I don't want to be a pushy, you know, grindy, hustly type of person, well, get over it. Just hustle your butt off. I'm just joking. You know, you'd hustle your butt out of if you had to, if you know your life depended on it, or someone you love's life depended on it, right? So getting back to my elite crown, it's going to be lots of fun, you guys. The best is yet to come, and you know, this is really a video that was just casual. Wanted to just jump on, be transparent with you, say to you guys that, you know, when I say I've gone from, Ian and I, when we were in clinic, went from multiple six figures to zero, zip, and then making it back again hugely. I'm going to leave on this note. And it's got nothing to do with money in the sense of dollars and cents, but it's got everything to do with the spiritual abundance. Because when you know how to treat money and when you do the right thing, it will be so different. Now, who's written that? I'm just having a look. Oh, it's Raymond again. Back again.
Money is only a storage system.
Oh no, he's dropped a link.
If you do, if you educate yourself, you store that knowledge. If you exercise, you store the muscle and the energy for something else. If you dig a well and pump it into a tank, you've got that water for later. If your work that you do is going to bring you other things, other products and other services, that if you can't do it straight away, it's stored in money, right, until you get that there.
Yeah.
So the money's only a storage system. Right?
True.
And it's
True
all
that.
it's all about
that.
you know the energy, the flow, the personal wealth, the personal being, and don't forget that if you want to help people and you want to love people, you want to put out there, who do you got to work on first? Because you cannot give away what you have not got.
That's right. You cannot give away anything you haven't got. So spare a thought for people who have had not so good parents or not so good people in their life that haven't done the right thing, or they've had bad relationships. Those people did the best thing they could at the time with the resources they have. They just couldn't give you what they didn't have. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
Money is a tool. Exactly. So I'm just going to say this, and as I said, I really want to come back to really emphasizing on money being a spiritual gift. But now that it is, you know, more, you know, we are blessed, we're prosperous, we're abundant. It's quite common for me to be having 5-figure weeks these days, right? I mean, I tell Ian, I've done it again. and I'll never get used to it. I'll always be grateful for it. But here's the little thing that I will be teaching it in my Elite Crown. It's actually easier. Go figure this one out, you guys. It's actually easier to make 5 figures in a week than 4. For this.
Because you're different reach, different level, working with people who are on different level with the biggest frequency.
And it's long strides. I'm not going to go too much into it on this because I'm going to let you guys have your Saturday night. But it's about going. We're taking big strides now. And even as I was talking to someone the other night about taking my business to the next level, he said, Terry, you've got this expansive mindset. You are so close to, you know, even making 100K a month than you probably think you are. Now, that would have been unheard of, right? Once upon a time. But I understand that it's definitely, it's a frequency, it's an expansion of the mind. It's just, you know, and it's definitely about generosity too. You've got to have a why and a reason for wanting to do that. So we just want to say, guys, be blessed. And, you know, we hope you've enjoyed this Saturday night with us at Kebabs. And as we've enjoyed our kebabs, see, in this restaurant, there's been lots of people coming in and out.
Turkish Kitchen Josmos, mate. If you're in the
Just gave them a
within the
plug.
city, get in and try it.
It's so cool. It's the greatest kebabs. So I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Anyway, you guys.
Leans.
Yeah, stay awesome, be totally awesome. Remember, you do have a gift inside you, and know that that is your divine gift. So we'll check you soon, and anyone who wants to talk to me about my Elite Crown or any of the things we've discussed tonight, if you just want to have a chat, get into touch with us. I'll have a free call with you and talk to you soon. See ya.
All right.
Ciao.